today's discourse. This is your girl Taz,
And your girl Sha.
and we're your hosts on TLD. Today's topic is on women's health. Women health is a broad topic. It covers many areas of health and wellness. Some of the most important things that women should know about their health includes physical activity, obesity, Alzheimer's, cancer, heart disease, and reproductive health. It is important for women to be aware of the diseases and conditions that are amongst the top health risks for them, such as heart disease and breast cancer. Healthy habits are the best way to avoid disease, to prolong your life, and to live more happily. According to the National Institute of Health, heart disease and stroke are still the leading causes of death for both men and women in the United States. In fact, heart disease causes one in every four deaths amongst women in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot.
Hmm.
But here are some ways that we can prevent some of those things, as far as in heart disease. You can get regular physical activity to help maintain a healthy weight and lower your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels. You can eat a healthy diet that is low in saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, salt, and added sugars. Quit smoking and avoid secondhand smoke. Limit your alcohol use. Manage your stress and try to get enough sleep. So, Sean, let me ask you, what are some of the main, or should I say, let me say, what are some of the common health issues that you think most women face today?
Some of them you already touched on, Taz. There are a number of health issues that women face today. And some of the ones I'm going to mention, they affect both men and women. But like you said, heart disease and strokes, diabetes, those are on the top of the list. And women have maternal health issues too, like
Mm-hmm.
from iron deficiency, anemia to high blood pressure. These changes occur when a woman is carrying a child. They may
Mm-hmm.
not have those issues when they're not pregnant, but when they're pregnant, those issues can come about. And just talking about issues they may have during pregnancy, they talk about how important it is before a woman conceives to concentrate on her health before, so that maybe she won't have that many issues during the pregnancy. Women with diabetes or high blood pressure should have these conditions under control before they plan to conceive.
Mm-hmm.
And just a note, women should not conceive immediately after having weight loss surgery.
Okay.
But there's other things too, like urinary tract infections, sexual health. There's more than 30 types of sexually transmitted infections.
Wow.
Yeah, and you mentioned also breast cancer. So those
Mm-hmm.
are some of the top things that women, common health issues that women have to deal with. And like I
Right.
said, some of them both sexes have to deal with.
Right. Right. And you touched on the women that are trying to conceive or just during pregnancy. Yeah, that has been like a lot here lately. I just know an athlete woman. I don't know whether she ran track, just recently died. I didn't really
Hmm.
read the story too much, but yeah, it's like it's becoming more and more common that a lot of women are struggling when it comes to conceiving or during birth. So women
Wow.
definitely have to, like you said, I think if you're going to be conceiving or looking to conceive, like you said, trying to get your body um to a state of well-being as much as you can.
Hmm.
Just to kind of because it's taxing on the body. So
Yes.
right.
Hmm.
Wow. And
Yeah.
those STDs is that's why I was just thinking about that the other day. I said it's bad because it's like they're mutating and people are not really paying attention to this. And I'm like, it's so much is accepted now, with, partners and same sex and stuff like that. And this stuff is spreading like wildfire. So
Mhm.
women definitely, because I think for us, you know, um, men have a outie, we have an innie, and I just look at that as
Right.
just being even more worse for us because
I
things lie to me more in us than it would in a man,
Mhm.
so yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so that's a big difference between men and women. I think it just affects us more so and
Mhm.
when the affection is inside your body. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah. One thing I believe causes havoc on a woman's health is stress. I think stress could lead to high blood pressure, stress could lead to a stroke, stress could lead to different cancers. So I think managing one's stress is imperative. What are some ways you think a woman could help relieve stress?
A lot of these answers going to sound kind of repetitive because they are.
That
You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
Mhm.
So I guess I'm gonna reiterate. Exercise, get enough
Mhm.
sleep.
Mhm.
Trying to incorporate a healthy diet. Within your budget. It doesn't have to be no fancy meal, but just more vegetables, more fruits, probably more intake of water. Just
Mhm.
practicing, maybe meditation, yogas, breathing techniques. It's, hey, spend more time with friends and family that's going to uplift you, build you up, or help alleviate the stresses that you're going through in life. And most importantly, just take some time out to yourself. You don't always have to be around others. You don't always have to be within the scene, or you don't always have to even reach out to people just to kind of get your mind together. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of just
Mhm.
be to yourself, by yourself, and for yourself, just to kind of figure things out. And, you know, and then, like I said, sometimes just sleep it off. You know what I mean? Like, like I said before, get enough sleep. That's important.
Mhm.
Sometimes just laying in, even if you're not sleeping, but just laying in the bed takes a lot off of you. Just laying
Yeah.
there doing nothing. No phone, no computer, no TV, nothing. You
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
Um,
Everything I read talks about a lot of things that I read about health and wellness stresses that sleep is so important.
right.
And it's important to try to get sleep between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. because that's the hours that the body does a lot of the repairing. And
Wow.
sometimes on the weekend, I may go to bed at 1:30. I'm like, "Oh gosh, I'm
Mhm.
only gonna get a half hour of that prime time sleep, if I
Right,
get that."
right.
So, it's
Yeah,
it's important. Sleep is very important.
right. And see, that's the thing. We so wound up, and and even if we're not doing anything, or maybe we're not even stressing, but like you said, just allowing your body to repair itself is
Mhm.
crucial. It's critical,
Yes.
and we don't think about that because it's just like it's just not, you just figure this body, you're not thinking about the things that our body's doing because it's doing it. But when
Mhm.
things start to happen, then you realize,
Mhm.
you know what? I get that this body is miraculous, but I have to also do things that's going to keep it going, you know?
Yeah, you have to take care of it the best that you can
Right,
take care of it.
right, right. And that you know how. So, yeah. And like I said, a lot of these things, people might say, oh my God, I'm so tired of hearing exercise, so tired of hearing sleep. It's tons of ways, you just have to um reach out to things online, or maybe friends and family that just know something a little more different. But you got retreats, you got spas, you got it's just so many different things. But definitely, definitely, definitely find ways, because it is a killer. And when we stress, it releases a toxin in our body, so it's like a poison. So if
Mm.
you look at it no other way, just look at it like that. It's releasing the poison.
Wow.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Sha. Excuse me. What are some of the ways to maintain good reproductive health?
And like you said, Taz, a lot of this is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Eat a balanced diet that is high in fiber and low in fat. Drink plenty of water. Get regular exercise. Maintain a healthy weight. I think if you're eating a healthy diet and exercising, that maintaining a healthy weight should kind of fall in line with that. Get enough sleep, like we said. Avoid using tobacco, alcohol, and other drugs.
Mhm.
And manage stress in healthy ways.
Right.
It's a reoccurring theme throughout this discussion.
Well, what I want to say with the reproductive health, like you just mentioned earlier with the STDs, that is a part of, we have to pay attention to our sex organs. And when we're having these partners and these partners have partners and or, just people are not being, transparent about, what they're doing and who they're doing it with, that puts your reproductive health at risk. So,
Mhm.
you have to kind of, think about that, so many women are, getting cysts and you got the fibroids and it just so many things that occur for women within our
Mm.
reproductive order. You got some women, think about the women who have babies and their babies get stuck in their tubes and, they have to remove a tube. And, but, just a
Mhm.
lot of that is because certain things are blocked, certain things, have mucus on it, certain things, like you said, they have different polyps. And, it just, the list can go on and on and on. So I think we as women have to really, really, um, really dive into the reproductive health more. I think we're very, very surface level when it comes to that, and our bodies are very, very unique, and especially that part of our bodies. And I think we should really, really know the ins and outs of it, and find ways to kind of keep it as healthy as we can. Um,
Yeah.
I
I think oh,
mhm.
go
No, go
ahead.
ahead.
I think like you mentioned the fibroids, I have had fibroids. And the unfortunate thing, and maybe it's better now, but I doubt it because I know people are still suffering with them. There's not a lot of commercial information about how to help fibroids. So, I know when I went to the doctor and I asked him, "Well, how did I get them?" He said, "It's probably your diet." Just automatic. He said, "It's probably your diet." And I said, "Well, I
Mhm.
don't eat bad." And he said, "Well, it's like he really didn't know." And thinking back on it, back then I ate a lot of chicken, so I don't know if that was the chicken didn't agree with my body or what, but that
Mhm.
could have been it. But, I thought I was eating good by eating chicken because that's considered it's not beef or pork. It's considered,
Right.
fairly healthy thing to eat.
Lean meat. Right.
Yeah, so you may have to seek unconventional wisdom when it comes to taking care of your body because a lot of times the doctors they just don't know. They don't
Right.
know and they may throw something out there that doesn't even apply to you and you're like, "Well, gosh, well, I don't know
Right.
what to do."
Right. That's why I say you really have to be your own advocate, and you definitely have to be your own doctor to a degree. Um, like what you just mentioned with the fibroids, a lot of this stuff, like if you, just reading on Dr. Sabi and some other people that I have stumbled on, a lot of this stuff they say is based off of mucus that's forming in our body and it's attaching onto things that's causing things to grow. And it's
Mhm.
no different with the fibroids. They were saying fibroids, when you mentioned the chicken, that could be very, very relevant because one thing about chicken, they inject them with a lot of hormones that females already have or produce.
Mhm.
So if you're figuring
Mhm.
if you're consuming a lot of that, so it's almost like you're putting more hormones in your body
Estrogen.
than your body needs. You get what I'm saying? So
Yes.
if it's taking some in and then it's the rest they don't need, who knows what it is causing to grow because it's just too much of that. So these are the
Yeah.
things that we have to know about our bodies, you know what I'm saying? Or just finding the things that keep everything at its normal levels or keeping things from growing. You get what I'm saying? Because if
Mhm.
we're eating things that's got too many chemicals or hormones in it and it's going against our body or adding to our body, it's going to throw something off. So,
Yeah.
I just think we really, really have to, almost like I said, you really have to become your own doctor. You know what I'm saying?
You
In order
really
to
do.
Yeah, in order to know
Yeah,
who you are and how to maintain this body of ours. So,
and recognize everybody's body's different. So
right,
you have to figure out what works best for your body.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's good to have women of all ages in your friend circle so they can help you through the different phases of a woman's life. Like go through childbearing years, then you're perimenopausal, then you go through menopause. And I think it's good to have those different women of different ages so that when those different things start to happen to you, it's not surprising. And they could also explain to you what's getting ready to happen and
Right.
maybe some things you could do to counteract some of the things that are getting ready to happen or help subside the symptoms some. With all of that being said, what are some of the common things a woman experiences when she is perimenopausal?
Is it peri? I always just say pre. Okay. Perimenopausal is a transitional period, before menopause, for those who know and for those who don't know. During that time, a woman's body generally makes less estrogen and more progesterone. They were saying that the average length of perimenopause is 4 years, but some women, depending, that stage may last only a few months or continue for 10 years, which I was
Wow,
like,
10
yeah,
years.
yeah, that's a lot. Especially when you think about some of the effects people have with it. So here are some of the common symptoms. I guess people can tell us in the description below, like what are some of the things that people are not talking about. Because see, that's the thing. We're always hearing I don't want to call it the basic or the common things, but I like to hear the things that are not common because those are the things that somebody else may be experiencing. And just because they don't
Mhm.
hear it, they'd be like, okay, well, am I going through this? Am I not? But if they see something that is not common, then they'll be like, oh, okay, I am going through perimenopause. Okay, whatever. But some of the symptoms are irregular periods, you got hot flashes and night sweats, mood changes, vaginal dryness, decrease in sex drive, and here we go again, sleep problems or lack of
Mm.
sleep.
Okay.
Those are just some of the symptoms that were mentioned. And again, the list probably can go on and on. I think some people talk about hair loss, weight gain, um, what else? I'm trying to think. It's probably a lot more, but those are the common.
M- Me and one of my cousins, while I was going through it, and I guess she was too, she's a couple of years younger than me. We were talking about the how offensive the smell of the period was during that time. And she was like, "That's happening to you too?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Why does it something makes the smell just awful during that time?" So that's
Wow.
another thing that happens during
Okay. Well, see,
towards yeah.
yeah. Well, see, that's one that maybe that's somewhere in the books or online somewhere. But if not, hey, your menstrual cycle smell is not. It is heightened.
Mhm.
So that's a good
Mhm.
one to know. Yeah. So
Yeah.
people could prepare for that. Like, okay,
Mhm.
let me get on that and let me keep that in the front of my head. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about health. What are some of the ways to maintain a healthy heart? Because, we just read earlier how that is a biggie for women. So, Sha, what
Mhm.
do you think are some of the ways?
Again, the eating, exercise, being active, but something that's a little bit different for the healthy heart is quit smoking if someone is smoking and stay away from secondhand smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Control your cholesterol and blood pressure. And those are the only two things that were a little bit different. Drink alcohol in moderation, but
Right.
the eating, being health, being active, healthy weight and the managing the stress, that was part of the healthy heart also.
Right, right.
So,
And I'm just gonna say it again, again, it's very, very repetitive. However, we have to kind of come out of those norms. And like I said earlier, we have to, I thought about that at one time. We know this is one whole body, but it's a lot of parts of this body. And like I said, we have to get familiar. And the heart is a big one. You know what I'm saying? It does a lot of work.
mhm,
It's pumping, it's pushing, it's pulling, it's doing a lot. And a lot of times people are, have plaque being built up. You know what I'm saying? People don't talk enough about dental care. Dental care plays a big part as well with the heart, the blood, a lot of that stuff. And a lot of people, I think, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but when you talk about plaque, a lot of that stuff can come from your mouth. Um,
mm,
you think about just different things. So I think when it comes to these organs, we have to kind of learn each one of them and just kind of know what works and what doesn't work when it comes to that particular part, whether it's the heart, whether it's the lungs, whether it's the fallopian tubes or the liver, the kidney. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that we need to know.
mhm. I agree. In this episode, we're talking about women's health, and I just want to kind of touch back on the perimenopause topic. What age do women usually go through perimenopause? From what
Okay.
age to what age about? And is there any treatment that's necessary with perimenopause for perimenopause?
Well, I was doing a little research and it says perimenopause normally happens to some women in their 40s or 50s, which is, or maybe 51, which is the average in the United States. So I guess it just all depends on your body makeup. You know what I'm saying? How you was, created. Some younger,
Mhm.
some are later, some are older. But the average in the United States, they said is 51. Um, you know, perimenopause, they said it ends when women have gone at least 12 months without having their period, and then the menopause happens. So,
Right.
you know, and they
Okay.
just said it's just menopause is just a natural, biological process, which is interesting. It's like, sometimes you
Yeah.
wonder, did we ever have to have it? And it's funny because I notice when we talk about eating clean and stuff like that, how so many people say they menstrual cycle almost become non-existent. And I always wondered that. I'm like, so were we ever supposed to have it? And what you know what I'm saying? It makes me wonder that when I hear a lot of people when they eat clean, where sometimes people say, I mean, I get a period 1 or 2 days, I don't have nothing, it's very light, it's almost like non-existent.
I
And
think we were supposed to have it, but I don't think it I think that is how it should have been, 1 or 2
okay,
days, very light. I don't think
right,
it should be 7 days,
right,
heavy. So
right,
I think when we treat the body how it's supposed to be treated, then that's how the cycle would be.
right. And far as in treatments, yes, there are treatments available to help ease perimenopausal symptoms. Of course, as always, medications are often used to treat, perimenopausal symptoms. They have hormone therapy, which is the most effective treatment for, relieving perimenopause and menopausal hot flashes and night sweats. Estrogen can also be administered directly to the vaginal area or used as tablets. They got rings and creams.
Hmm.
And those treatment just releases a small amount of estrogen, which is absorbed, by your vaginal tissues. There are also other treatments that you can use. It just all depends on how you want to use it or how you don't want to use it. But it's called, a lot of it is just hormone replacement therapy. You gotta, you also gotta remember there is a lot of natural things out here as well for those that are looking for more um natural alternatives. Here's a few remedies, but it's always good to remember when you run, when you're running into natural things or want to look into natural things or people are recommending those things to always, just speak to your doctor before adding anything new to the system and just to see if it's okay or safe because what may work for one person may not work for for you.
Right.
But to help relieve some of the perimenopausal symptoms, they talk about jinxing, they talk about soy, vitamin D,
Mm. Hmm.
wild yams, yoga,
Mm.
and something called pine bark abstract. So, that's a few. I mean, I know the list can go on and on, but I always hear ginseng a lot too for a lot of things. So, yeah. So
Mm.
I think that's just a few. So, look it up and see what you can take or add. And like I said, just, see how it works for you. And if it works, run with it, go with it. Cause nobody wants to suffer when you're going through
No.
certain things, you
Yeah.
know.
And just speaking from experience, I'm in the menopausal stage of life, I
Okay.
guess. And I could tell, like, I don't have severe hot flashes. I do get them sometime, but it's not bad at all.
Okay.
But I could tell if I maybe drink alcohol or maybe eat a little bit different, then I may start flashing a little bit more.
Okay.
So again, it and that could just be my body.
Right.
Everybody's body is different. But I think eating clean as you can really helps your body in more ways than one.
Right. So let me ask
So
you. So okay. So those symptoms kind of carry over into menopause as well. It's not.
yes,
Oh, okay. Wow.
yeah. And
Okay.
it's like some people they have hot flashes for like 10 years or so. And you're
Well,
like, oh my gosh, that's a
it
long time.
it did say that. I mean, who wants to deal with that? But that's what I'm saying. Us
Yeah.
poor women have so much to go through.
And then some women, like my godmother was telling me, she was excited about that phase of life because she was always cold. So she was
Mm,
looking forward to having hot flashes. But
wow.
she said she only had maybe one or two hot flashes, and that was it.
Wow. You see?
Yeah.
Listen, genetics play a huge part, and then, like you said, how you treating your body, But
Mhm.
yep, yep, yep. Because I mean, think about it. I know women, like I said, when they, with the menstruals, I knew people that threw up and couldn't
Oh,
move, and I
wow.
mean, just can you imagine? It's bad enough you're. I always like to say leaking. Ugh, and it's just so
Mhm.
uncomfortable and just so taxing to me. And then just imagine to the point you get it so bad, almost like you're having a child, and you're crippled. I
Mm.
mean, some women
Yeah,
are
that's
crippled
something.
during those months, and some months are
Mhm.
worse than others for some women. And it's a mess. So, and then they have to go through
Yeah.
that. It's like, God, can we had it? That could have been our golden stage. Like didn't experience anything, it was over and done, but no, you still got to go
Mhm.
through a transition. So,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
crazy. So let me see. Let me ask you, Shah, what are some good ways to maintain good bone health? Because people don't too much talk about bone, but bone is very important, and you hear a lot of
Yeah.
osteoporosis in women and stuff like that. So, what do you think? What are some?
Let's see. Eat green leafy vegetables like collard greens, spinach, broccoli, kale, things that are high in calcium. Those are high in calcium. Doing strength training. I think
Mm,
that's something that mm, there's a lot of women that do strength training, but I think a lot of times we concentrate more on the cardio. But
mm-hmm.
strength training, especially as we get older, is very important in weight bearing exercises.
Okay.
Consuming enough protein, however, you get your protein. Beans and nuts are a way to get plant based protein, but we know different meats have protein also. Getting plenty of vitamins like D and K.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
So,
And they have a
yeah.
lot of different bone broths now out there on the market.
Yeah, you're seeing that a lot now.
Hey, make your own soup, and your own bone broth. But yeah, try that because they said those bones have a lot of different vitamins in them. And
Mhm.
with the water, so it's good for your collagen, all of that stuff. So, bone broth, may be a good one for bone health as well, just as a
Mhm.
little extra something.
Yeah. Yeah, with all of these ways of maintaining your reproductive health, your heart health, and bone health, like I stated, there are several reoccurring themes. The reoccurring themes are eat healthy, exercise, get enough sleep, manage your stress. I do pretty well with eating healthy while I'm at home. The challenge for me comes when I go out to eat and finding healthy options when I'm out.
Right,
So it's summertime, and I hope to be out more now that it's warm outside. And so I'm going to have to try to think of a strategy on how I could eat healthy while I'm going out different places. So if y'all have any suggestions for that, please put that in the comments, what you may do to kind of keep your eating regimen in line when you're out at a party or going to a restaurant or something like that.
right.
So I have to come up with a strategy because I don't want to just go out to eat and eat bad things and, you know,
Yeah, putting
mess up my eating.
right, you
I
starting
believe in
over.
treating yourself sometimes, but if you're going out a lot, that would be a
Right.
lot of treating yourself
Right.
sometimes.
And you can still treat yourself, but you just got to be conscious. You know what I'm saying? So, I was as you was talking, I was just thinking. So, if you're going to a restaurant, what's good now is because so many people are vegan or trying to eat a little more clean. They do have a few items now at a lot of restaurants. So,
Mhm.
I know, as tempted as it may be when you see everybody else with these, mouth drooling plates, you may have to
Mhm.
just be like, even though it looks good, I'm just going to have to go ahead and get that veggie burger. I'm going to have to get that salad or, just whatever it is, just that pasta with some tomatoes or spinach. You just have to just be like, you know what? I'm not even doing it, and you're just gonna have to, even if it's just 3 items on the menu, it should be something that you be like, you know what, I'll do that until I go home, or you know what I'm saying, just to say that hey, I partaked, I did eat something,
Mhm.
and I
Mhm.
maintained. So,
Yeah. Maybe eat before I leave or something. I'm gonna have
mhm,
to come up with something.
mhm.
Yeah. So I really believe we are what we eat. Do you think it's more important to eat properly or exercise consistently? Or do you think they are equally important?
I think and believe they are equally important. Both eating properly and exercising consistently are important for our overall health. Um,
Mhm.
Eating a healthy diet can help you maintain a healthy weight and to reduce your risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease and diabetes, like which we've been talking about for us as women, especially. And exercising can help you maintain a healthy weight, which reduces your risk of chronic diseases and improves your mental health. So, um, I just think it's good. It's important to find that balance between the two, and help and do what works for you. But I think you can't have one without having the other.
I
You
agree.
know,
I do agree.
so
Yeah, just finding the time to get the exercise in and find the time to prepare the healthy meals and
hmm
it could happen. You can make it
right,
happen.
right. Well, ladies, gents, but this topic tonight was on for the women. Let's stay up on our health. Let's start, looking more into, different parts of our bodies, our breast, you know, um, our lungs, our hearts, our livers, our kidneys, you know what I'm saying? Our reproductive area. It's a lot, our bones. There's a lot to us. And, we're so worried about the outside appearance, but what do we look like inside? We should
Mm.
be really, really putting that to the forefront. What do our insides look like? If they open us up, what would be seen? Would it be dark?
Mm.
Would it be pussy? Would it be inflamed? Would it be,
Yeah,
all types of abnormal growths? So let's kind of look at it from that standpoint and try to work from the inside out.
that's a good idea. And this is a good time of year to do it.
Mhm.
Summertime, it's good to be outside, exercising, and eating all of the wonderful fruits, watermelon,
Mhm.
cherries, and mangoes.
Right.
So it's a good time of year for it.
And FYI, I was just looking at some brothers the other day, and I had a big old watermelon. It was delicious, and you don't really see them with the seeds too much. And they talk about the seeds, the seeds, the seeds, the seeds. But this one was a pretty good one, and I just started eating some of the seeds. You know what I'm saying? People have to look up the watermelon seed and how many vitamins is within that seed
Mhm.
and what you can do
Mhm.
with that. So before we start spitting them out, chew up a few of them.
I
Bake a
put them
few
in
of
my
them.
smoothie. I put them to the side and put them in my smoothie.
Yep, yep. They're
Mm.
packed, packed, packed. So we have to be mindful of those things when we're going to these stores and things of that nature. Try to find the fruits that have the seeds, because
Yes.
seeds, yeah, promotes or created a fruit that gave it that extra perk. You know what I'm saying? Seeds are
Mhm.
powerful, and seeds are important for our bodies to help ward off certain things. So definitely, definitely, when you're thinking about it, look them up, see what seeds you can eat and the seeds that you can cook with. Watermelon seeds are one, and they're packed with vitamins. So for those who didn't know.
Yeah, that's a
Well,
good point. Good
mhm.
tip.
Yeah. Well, guys, that concludes our show for today. Until next time, please, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Leave some comments. You know, um, just let us know that you guys are listening.
Let us know what you do to keep to your eating regimen when you go out and what you plan to do to live a healthier lifestyle.
Right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.